The trial of Leonard Anderson is entering its third day, and his defense attorney, Anne Fennell, is going to present an alternative theory for how Brandon Green died. She begins by analysing the evidence of the medical examiner.
This impact of the bullet with its pressure wave broke the skull cap and the base of the skull. That's the top and the bottom of the skull, especially in the area of the right eye. And then there's hemorrhage associated with this and some bruising of the brain, so he did not die immediately.
I mean, my argument is that when they saw him and they saw him fall and they saw him on the ground, they see a hole in the middle of his forehead and they assume he was shot from the front. Would the injury you observed be consistent with a shot coming from this direction?
From the body alone, in this case, I can't tell you where the gun was, but the shot's coming from behind. It's going from his right side to his front and slightly upward.
So the shot comes in here, right by the temple, and it comes out of the eye, right by the right eye. If you can imagine, it'd be like if it enters here and comes out in the middle of the head. So in order to be shot from the front, from the camera, the person would have to pivot their body all the way around. The reality could be that, the shot came from behind him and to the right, which could be another member of their group. It could be just somebody randomly, showing off a gun and having a gun discharge. You just don't know. All right, sir. Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
They calls Detective Bobby Bowers.
Prosecutor Alan Mizrahi has one final witness.
Good afternoon, Detective. Please introduce yourself to the jury.
Bobby Frank Bowers, Sr.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a detective with the homicide unit at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
Detective Bobby Bowers interviewed Leonard when he was arrested.
We haven't heard from you.
Yes,
we don't
sir.
know what you have to say about what happened.
Yes, sir. Understand.
Okay? Now, I didn't come here to question you if you did the shooting. What I came here to talk to you about was what happened and why did it happen and why did it get to that point.
So I have no recognition. I wasn't there. It wasn't me.
Do you remember who the DJ was?
No, sir. I wasn't. Like I said, I wasn't there. So I wouldn't know.
You weren't there?
I wasn't there. It wasn't me.
Okay. If you in any way acted in self-defense, this would be a good time to let me know. Because down the road, when this case, if it goes to trial,
Yes, sir.
and then you come forward and say, I remember what happened, it's not going to hold much ground when we first met and you had no recollection of the whole incident.
I understand, sir.
May it please the court. Mr. Anderson, you know that you're in the club that night, right?
Yes, sir.
You know you're present when shots ring out, right?
Yes, sir.
And you know you've been arrested for that case,
Yes, sir.
okay? So, here's the thing, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, sir.
You said, I wasn't there,
I wasn't there. I didn't do it. You have the wrong person.
but that was a lie, right?
Well, I said I wasn't there. I didn't do it. I have the wrong person, which
Mr.
it
Anderson,
doesn't.
just answer my questions, okay?
I said I wasn't there. You have the wrong guy. I didn't do this.
I wasn't there.
Yes, I said that.
Was a lie, yes or no?
Yes, it was.
Isn't it true, Mr. Anderson, that you lied to those detectives because it was in your interest to lie to them, correct?
No, sir. I didn't
You
want to
just lied
be.
because you felt like it?
I lied because I didn't want to be involved. I didn't want to be a witness in a case that I don't know nothing about.
Okay. What are you a witness to, Mr. Anderson?
I didn't want to be a witness to anything.
I understand that, but what were you a witness? You weren't a witness to anything, were you?
I didn't want to be a witness to anything.
You knew you weren't being questioned as a witness. You knew you were being questioned as the defendant, as the suspect.
When you're picked up by detectives, you either being arrested or you have a bolo out for a warning for questioning. So I didn't know exactly if I'm being fully arrested for this charge.
That's all the questions I have, Your Honor.
Every neighborhood I grew up in as a youngster coming up, there was always crime. You learn that when it's a crime, yeah, you turn your head, you don't see nothing, you don't hear nothing, you don't be involved. Or you may be faced with those same people that committed those crimes, and then what happened to you when you become a snitch. They're not gonna come on your door and offer you cookies. They're not gonna come on your door and provide you money to be quiet. They finna come at your door with revenge, with retaliation, some hush. They finna come to your door and putting you to sleep forever. That's what they're coming to do. And that's what happens when you involve yourself in things that's not your business.